Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'll be opening up the Chrono Clash Systems Naruto Boruto card game. This is the Naruto Shippuden set NB-01. Now there's two boxes, a white box and a black box, and this is the black box. Now keep in mind this is a Bandai sponsored video, but all my opinions are my own. They just sent me the product. Now in this box, you'll get 3 of everything you need to play, which is a playset, and also comes with all the materials you need. Now, also included in the box, you get 2 promo packs. I'm going to talk about why those promo packs is a great reason to buy multiple of these boxes. So guys, check it out after the break. Alright guys, so here we go. I'll be opening up, again, the black box, NB-01, that's the Naruto and Naruto Shippuden sets. So can't wait to get into this, it's going to be awesome. So like I said guys, don't forget you get 3 of every card in here, which we'll quickly show you. And also, you get 2 really cool tournament promo packs. Now, the tournament promo packs are, they essentially give you 1 of a random card in the set foil. It's like a really cool full art foil too. So that's a really great reason to just buy multiple of these. So the first thing you'll notice when you take this apart is that this really cool foil cover actually comes off. And that's actually what I'm using down here to showplace the cards, is this thing. And it's actually really nice. That's something cool you can frame, collect them. They're really, really, really neat. So I'm gonna put that to the side, and then I'm just gonna pop this open real quick. All right. So you see it comes with this nice little box you can just pop right off, and it comes with some pretty cool stuff inside. I'll just quickly kind of show this stuff off here. Set this down here. It comes with the rules here. Just a real quick reference guide, and a bunch of different languages too, which is awesome. Now that's one of the coolest things about this game, and I'll get into that actually once I show you the cards. I don't want this video to be too long. It also comes with a really cool play mat here that has the Chrono Clash gauge up there as well, which is really, really neat. So, all right, let's get into the fun stuff. All right, so inside the box you'll get 2 tournament packs. Now I bought 2 of every set. Because I think it's a good idea to buy at least 2 of each one. So I'll be opening up 4 of these for this video, so you guys can see which ones I get. Shooting for the EX cards, but we'll get there in a second. You also get all your cards in here as well. It's a full play set. Now, a lot of companies that do games like this, they actually make you buy 2 of the same set to get a full play set. But this game, you get your full entire play set by just simply, buying the game for $30. Actually, I think at Target they're selling it for like $35. Okay, and then there is the EX cards, which are really neat as well, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, let's open up our cards here. Now, again, guys, you get 3 of every card, which is really neat. The difference between the 2 is you get different cards, and I'll kind of go over in a future video like which ones are maybe the best one to buy. But they did a really good job including really powerful cards in both sets. The Boruto set, the white box, has a lot of the really powerful ability cards, which we'll get into in a second. All right, so first up, and guys, forgive me if I mess up these names. Now, I don't watch Naruto, so I'm not sure. Even if I did, I probably would still say them wrong. So here's Haku. A leadership card, very, very good card. Again, guys, I'm going to go through these very, very quickly because I don't want this video to be super long, but I do want to kind of go over them a little bit. Hineta, Hyuga, Tenten being really cool. Gara, really cool. Draws you an EX card when you play it. Very, very powerful. Naruto, the man himself, also draws you a card, EX card when you play him, and has Sentinel, so that's cool. Zabuza. Actually, a lot of people's favorite character. I know when I was demoing this game, a lot of people were like, oh, Zabuza in the game. I don't know who he is, but he's really cool. Has a leadership of 3, which is really good, but his downside is he can't attack battlers, which is actually a pretty big downside once we kind of get into the game here a little bit. There's Niji. Just your vanillas. The vanillas in this game aren't that great, but I'll talk a little bit in a future video of why you might want to have them. Shikimura. Now, for some reason, some of these cards are in the back. Like, they didn't come completely together, but there's the 3 of them, so you guys can see them. There's Kakashi. Actually, my favorite character. I think he looks the coolest. Again, never watched the show, but he's really cool. 10 cost, extremely expensive, but 12 strength plus 3 attack. He actually hits for 4 and then gives you a life when he comes into play. Insane for your 10 cost. And actually, a really cool deck that George made kind of abuses that system as well, which is we'll go over again in a deck profile when we get there. Sakura. Kiba. One of the best 2-drops, by the way. Blue has a lot of really good like low cost cards. Tamara has Retreat, which means when she is destroyed in battle, she goes back into your hand. Again, another vanilla. These vanillas pretty lackluster, but again, we'll go over why you might want to include a couple in your deck. Shino, Protector, can't attack battlers. Actually can't attack, and then gives you an EX when he dies. Protector, a very, very powerful ability as well. Choji, a really, really cool card. Probably Blue's best 5-drop. Rock Lee. Little Dusty O'Brien there with the bowl cut. Kankuro. Again, his other one's back here, I believe. In the back. Yeah, there he is, Kankuro. Probably my favorite card in the game. That's Sasuke. Love this card. Does so much. Has Protector. Deals 1 additional damage. Draws you a card when he comes into play. And an EX card when he comes into play. So super neat. For 7 time, which is a lot. But he's almost always going to stick on the field. And he gets to protect your cards. Now, this is something that's pretty cool. I'll kind of show this off now. The game also comes with this. I believe there's 2 in here somewhere. Yeah, here's the other one. And this is another way to do the Chrono Clash gauge. And I'm sure my camera's not going to have it a little zoomed in, so you're probably not going to see it. So I'll just show it to the big camera here. But essentially what you do here is you pull this up, and then you can put this together, you see? And then you can make your Chrono Clash gauge, which is really, really neat. And then on the back, it has a cheat sheet. I'll kind of get this a little bit closer so you guys can see. Try to get off the glare here, but you can see there's a little bit of a cheat sheet there too for you, which is really neat. I like that a lot. I like when they do things like that. Okay. There we go. I'm not even going to try to say her name. Pretty powerful 5-drop though. There's Uchimara. +1, so he gets those 2 damage, has fast, so he gets attack the turn he comes out, and when he attacks, he gets +3 strength, and then you can discard a card to draw an EX. So a powerful card if he stays on board. However, 6 is a lot, and fast is really, really good ability, but fast attached to a 6-coster is very unlikely that you're going to be able to play him out and attack the turn he comes over, because remember, once that gauge crosses your opponent's side, your turn is completely over, so you can't attack with your card. So if you play this guy, it crosses your opponent's side, you can't really take advantage of fast. Sai. Now this guy is awesome. Now he's one of the red 6-drops. One of my favorite cards in the game. And once I show you guys my red-green deck, this guy's it's a huge part of that deck. And why he's so good is because when he comes into play, you can choose a card and bounce it to its owner's hand. But he also has that same ability in his Guardian ability, which is fantastic as well. Gaara. Pretty cool card here. This is a card I've tried to take advantage of, but it's a little bit hard to. Maybe he could be good in like a reinforcement type deck, like a purple-red deck maybe, but right now he's a little lackluster. This is a card that I tried my best to break. Naruto, 7 cost. Now when he attacks, you lose 2 time, but you get to ready one of your cards, which is super, super neat. But Peter Katani told me, he's like, this card isn't good, and I tried so hard to make this card good. Every time he was bad. Well, actually, let me really quickly explain why he's not that great. It's because your opponent can leave you just at 2 energy or 2 time, and then whenever you attack with them, if your time goes past, goes to your opponent's turn, then your attack's over. So it's like he doesn't attack. So it makes him very hard to use because your opponent can just outplay you. They can just play you and give you very little time. Now, if your opponent's unable to do that, though, the card is very, very good. All right, Sasuke, 8-drop Sasuke here, has fast. Again, fast attached to an 8-drop's a little ambitious, but he does have Legion and +1 attack. So he's going to do 2 Guardians when he attacks, and also when he dies, you get to discard the top card of your deck. If that's a battler, you get to put it in your hand. So really cool ability, just, again, fast on these high drop cards. it makes it really hard to use the fast ability. Now, keep in mind though that fast is an extremely strong ability, and you'll see why once we get into the EX cards. But it needs to be high costed. Next up is Might Guy. This guy in a lot of the red decks I'll run like one of. When he comes into play, you can choose any card with 8 or less strength and then destroy it. It's a really powerful card because it allows you to give it a little bit of that removal. It is expensive. 8 is a lot. Now, purple has a removal card that's in the Boruto set. Now, it costs 6 and KOs anything. So this costs 2 more and KOs only stuff that costs 8 or less, which is basically just about every card that people seem to be wanting to play. However, you get a body with it. So that's why it costs a little bit more. So that's kind of the trade-off. It does also have no guardian ability, but it is 9 strength when you flip it over. So it's basically going to kill whatever's attacking into it. So really cool card. I'd say it's probably worth always running at least one of, but I could see you not wanting to. Next up, Sakura. Now this is a ability card. So this, you can tell because it's a white border and it has a blue cost symbol. So this is not a battler. It doesn't stay in a play. You just use this once, you move your time, and it's over. Something to keep in mind with these is that your turn doesn't end until the ability has fully resolved. That's important once we get into the green ability cards from the Boruto set. Next up is Yamato, one of my favorite cards. Now this draws you an EX, returns a battle card to your hand, and then returns a battle card to your opponent's hand. Again, very powerful effect. You can abuse it with like your hasters. Not in this set, but in the Boruto set, the 2-cost red haster is very powerful. So if he survives, you can return him to your hand, and then return something to your opponent's hand. That combo is just great. Okay. I'm going to try to speed some stuff up here. All right, next up in the purples, we have the best one drop in the game, Kabuto. Draws you an EX, but for the downside that it gives your opponent a life. Still, though, 3 strength is really high on a 1-drop, and often he survives that attack. So he very often will last more than 1 attack. So you kind of get that life back if that matters. Plus, you get an EX, which is always going to take a life anyway, almost always. All right, next up, Granny Chio. Love this card a lot. Again, this set right here has the best purple cards in it and is worth buying multiple of this set because purple, in my opinion, is one of the best colors. So Granny Chio, terrific card. Next up, you got your 4-cost vanilla card. Again, doesn't really do a whole lot. However, keep in mind, though, that colors do have weaknesses as far as cost. So, purple has a lot of strong early drops and 5-drops, but they're really weak in the 4-drop department. Next up, Kakazu. This guy right here breaks the game, and we're going to go into huge detail why this is probably the best card in the entire game. Again, a big reason why you want to buy multiple of this set because these cards are so good. Purple is a great complementary color, so getting multiple of these sets allows you to build a blue purple deck or a green purple deck or a red purple deck. So that's really important. And this guy is huge. Reinforcements. He gives all your battlers reinforcements, which is insane. Now, something to remember, here's Hidan. Now, Hidan has reinforcements himself. So if Kakazu is out, then he will actually give Hidan double reinforcements. So whenever he dies, you can play 2 cards that cost 5 or less. So you can start to see why reinforcements is a very powerful ability. Zetsu, again, a great 5-drop. When he comes into play, you can choose any of your battlers and then do its enter the play effect, which can be really powerful. It also works on EX cards, so you can do a lot of really cool shenanigans with this card, especially when it comes into play with reinforcements. Toby, another really cool card. Basically, you can choose a battler in your drop or discard pile, return it to your hand, and then draw an EX. So when you play this guy out, you get 2 cards out of it. You get a card from your discard, and then you get a card from an EX card. So just a great value card. And again, if you can play it off of reinforcements, even better. Next up is this card got stuck together. To Deidre. This guy right here, I tried to use him a little bit. He's okay. Just never really kind of worked out the way I wanted him to. Because basically what he does is whenever he attacks, you can choose one of your battlers with 4 or less power and then ready it. Super powerful. It's just he has to attack. He costs 6. He's a little clunky. But if you can get him online, very good. Alrighty, and last but not least is Hiroko. This guy does 2 damage when he attacks and has reinforcements. Super powerful card. I usually run 3 in my deck, in my blue-purple deck. Again, very powerful. Best purple cards in the game is in this set. However, there is a really good ability card for purple, again, that can KO anything. It's a necessary card for the purple decks, and that's in the Boruto set. So, if you want the best purple cards, definitely pick up the NB-01. That's the Naruto Shippuden set. But don't forget that there are still good purple cards in the Boruto card, which I guess is by design. All right, let's just get into the EX card. These things are beautiful. These are full giant card size here. Now, the way you get these cards is you have to play a card that has an EX ability, or it lets you draw one of these cards. and its cost is in green. And what that means is you have to sacrifice or destroy that many of your cards to play this card out. Now, it doesn't count against your time gauge, which is insane. And almost all of these, all of them but the red frog, have haste. So that's really important too. So you're almost always going to get at least 1 damage out of that. So for example, if I want to play this 4-cost guy here that's in the field, I would have to, I could sacrifice, this 4-cost. And then once I sacrifice him, I can then play this out and then attack with it. Or like 2 2s or a 3 and a 2. You can pay over, but you can't obviously pay under. All right, so Gara, good card, fast Sentinel. That means when it's sideways, you have to attack into it. Now, it's important to remember that Sentinel cards, when you play them, you can play them into sideways. So that's pretty cool. Tapped, I think is what they say in the rule book, but I'm always really cautious of saying that word. And then when this card dies, you get to draw another EX card, so it replaces itself. Very, very powerful card. Keep in mind, you cannot sacrifice EX cards and play other EX cards. That's a really important rule, so keep that in mind. Next up, Naruto. Super cool card, fast, -6 leadership. Now remember, this leadership ability says your next battle you play costs 6 less. This does count for your EX cards. So you can attack with this guy and then play this guy out of your hand for free, for example. So because of that, I believe Naruto is probably the best EX card, green EX card, I'm sorry. Next up, the 9-tailed Fox Spirit. Now keep in mind, there are 6 EX cards for every color, and you get 3 in each box. The 9-tailed Fox Spirit. Gambabunta. That's all. I'm pretty confident that's incorrect. When you play this card, you draw a card. He also has Sentinel. Those 2 damage. Fast. Very good card. Blue, in my opinion, has the best EX cards, but kind of weaker battler cards. I think that's kind of the trade-off. Shaku, great card. This guy's awesome. +2 when he attacks. Also, he has the retreat. So if he dies in battle, he returns to your hand. So can be very, very powerful. Next up, Sasuke. Now this has actually become one of my favorite blue EX cards because it has Sentinel. Sentinel +6 strength. Now when this card attacks, it also gets +3 strength, so it means it has 9 strength. That means it's almost going to be able to kill almost any battler on your opponent's side of the field, and then most likely survive and then be Sentinel for your opponent's turn, meaning they have to attack into this and kill it. So this just gives you a lot of value. 9-tails Cloak. This is, in my opinion, the best red EX card. Pretty cheap to play, draws you a card, and gets +5 strength when he attacks. So a lot of value here, and plus he looks the coolest. He looks so cool. All right, Gardua. Cool bird card that kills something when he comes into play. Actually, when he attacks. And then this is the one that kills something when he comes into play. Katsu, little slug dude. And then going into the purple ones, finally, Sasori. Now, this guy's really neat. You can actually play him for free off of Granny Cho because Granny Cho is a 3 reinforcements. Whenever she dies, so right here, you can actually attack with her. If she dies on the attack, then you can play this out. And then when he comes to play, you can choose a battle card in your graveyard or in your discard and put it back into your hand. So you can choose Granny Cho and put it back in your hand. So a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this card. Very cheap, very efficient EX card. Next up, my favorite purple is Deidre. Now, what's really cool about him is when he attacks, you can choose any battler in play and do its end of the play effect. And there's some really cool combos you can do with this, and it's just really, really fun. Plus, he has reinforcement. So at worst, you attack, you do an ability in play. He gets killed in the attack. Then you can play something out of your hand that costs 7 or less, including another EX, which is a super, super value. And then finally, Manda. Again, has reinforcements for 8. It's fast, +1, and then when he attacks, you can choose something with 2 or less cost and destroy it. So pretty cool. All right, guys. Now we're at the end of the video here. I'm going to open up these 4 packs. Again, I have 4 because I bought 2 of both sets because I just have to. This game is awesome, and I just want to make sure I can build multiple of the best decks. So here we go, guys. Let's do our first pack. See what we get. And remember, guys, in these packs, you get these from tournaments. So make sure you support your local LGS store, and you also can get one of any card. There's Rock Lee in full art foil. So you can see, I'm going to compare these two because this is a set that actually has Rock Lee. Pretty cool, rigged. There we go. So there's normal Rock Lee, and then there's the full art, Rock Lee. So you can see his his body's in front of the symbols and stuff. It's really, really cool. So these are definitely worth it. I really want to try to foil out my entire set, which is going to be, I think, pretty ambitious. But we'll see what we could do. All right, let's go into pack 2 here. Oh, awesome. 9-tailed Fox Spirit. Now, this is an EX card. So that's something else that these do that are awesome, is that if you don't like the big EX cards, again, you can see here's the 9-tailed Fox Spirit. And then here's his little card. So if you don't like these big cards, you think they're maybe too clunky or whatever, then you have the ability to open up all the X cards from the tournament packs, which is really cool. Now, the only downside is to use these in tournament play, you need to have your whole EX deck with these size cards, right? Because you don't want like a bunch of big ones, like one small one. It's like, I wonder what I'm going to draw next. All right, 2 more packs to go. Let's see what we get. Whoop. All right, we got Shikata. Not the best, but again, if you're trying to foil out the whole set, everyone matters. That's what's so cool about these. All right, guys, our last pack here. Holy crap. It's fighting me. All right, boom, here we go. Oh, Guido statue, that's awesome. Again, this is in the Boruto set. This wasn't in the one we got, but this is such a powerful ability. When he comes to play, you get to choose 2 battle cards and KO him. Remember, guys, all of these effects are mandatory, however. So if you play this out and there's only him and your opponent's card, you have to kill his and yours. So it's very, very powerful ability, but with a great downside, which is how the most balanced abilities always are. All right, guys, so that's it for the box opening. I really hope you enjoyed the box opening for the black box, the NB-01 Naruto Shippuden sets. If you guys want to check out the white box opening or the Boruto box, you can check that out. I'll have it linked up here somewhere. But guys, thank you so much for the love and support. It means a lot to me. And as always, we'll see you next time.